Hebrews, Hebrews. This is our Prophets of Awakening. This is our Sabbath class, 17th of July, 2021. We'll be dealing with the Book of Jubilees a little more. I'm bouncing off last night. I'm asking everybody to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification button. This is a non-Messianic channel. We're dealing with the Tanakh and the Torah. And I want to say shalom and welcome everybody. We're going to do our usual moment of silence and prayer and song, current events. The moment of silence is for our Creator, Yahweh, and all the hosts and all that they are doing to orchestrate our deliverance from the land of our captives. Oh Lord, we come this day praising Thee and worshiping Thee with our might and power and great understanding. O Lord, the end times that You have foretold unto us, to our forefathers upon us. O Lord, give us strength and wisdom to endure all that Thou hast foretold. Thank You for another Sabbath day. Give us, O Lord, the knowledge to rightly divide Thy word, that it is delivered in righteousness and in truth. There is a great confusion among Your inheritance, now that You have awakened them. For I know, Lord, that Your hand is sure, that Your hand is firm. O Lord, we need You so very much at this hour. We will tarry and depend upon You, because there is none else besides You, O Lord. You are our deliverer and our redeemer. Peace be unto You. Okay. These are Psalms. Okay. Psalms 118. It's thanksgiving for the Lord's salvation. Psalm of David. Give thanks unto the Lord, for He is good, because His mercy endureth forever. Let Israel now say that His mercy endureth forever. Let the house of Aaron now say that His mercy endureth forever. Let them now that fear the Lord say that His mercy endureth forever. I called upon the Lord in distress. The Lord answered me and set me in a large place. The Lord is my side. I will not fear. What can man do unto me? The Lord taketh my part with them that help me. Therefore shall I see my desire upon them that hate me. It is better to trust in the Lord than to put confidence in man. It is better to trust in the Lord than to put confidence in princes. All nations compass me about, but the name of the Lord will I destroy them. With the name of the Lord will I destroy them. They compass me about, yea, they compass me about, but in the name of the Lord I will destroy them. They compass me about like bees. They are quenched as the fire of thorns. For in the name of the Lord I will destroy them. Thou hast thrust sore at me that I might fall, but the Lord helped me. The Lord is my strength and song, and has become my salvation. The voice of rejoicing and salvation is in the tabernacles of the righteous. The right hand of the Lord doeth valiantly. The right hand of the Lord is exalted. The right hand of the Lord doeth valiantly. I said not, I shall not die, but live, and declare the works of the Lord. The Lord hath chastened me sore, but He hath not given me over unto death. Open to me the gates of righteousness. I will go in unto them, and I will praise the Lord. This gate of the Lord, into which righteousness shall enter. I will praise Thee, for Thou hast heard me, and art become my salvation. The stone which the builders refused is become the headstone of the corner. This is the Lord's doing. It is marvelous in our eyes. This is the day which the Lord hath made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. Save now, I beseech Thee, O Lord. O Lord, I beseech Thee, send Thy prosperity. Blessed be he that cometh in the name of the Lord. We have blessed You out of the house of the Lord. God is Lord, which hath showed us light. Bind the sacrifice with cords, even unto the horns of the altar. Thou art my God, and I will praise Thee. Thou art my God, I will exalt Thee. O give thanks unto the Lord, for he is good, for his mercy endureth forever. So that was Psalms 118. Thanksgiving for the Lord's salvation. Psalm of David. Anybody got the current event they want to mention? Anybody got the current events? Okay. Yeah, this one here was it's picking up from yesterday. It's your picks through the rubble. Can y'all see that?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
It says Europe picks through the rubble from the deluge as death toll soars. Troops and firefighters scramble through the night Saturday to find victims of the devastation left by the worst flood to hit Western Europe in decades, which have already left more than 150 people dead and dozens missing. Okay. Western Germany has suffered the most brutal impact of the deluge that also plummeted Belgium, Luxembourg, and Netherlands, leaving streets and homes submerged in the muddy water and isolating the entire community. Like I said, you go back and do the research. All these countries was tied in when they subjugated Africa and when they came and got us from the west coast of Africa. So it was a death toll in Germany at 133 days into the disaster. Rescue said for more bodies were likely to be found in sodden cellars and collapsed homes as the cleanup gets underway. Being honest. So like I was saying before, see that? That's the hand of the Most High right there. And look at that. So like he said, this the worst ever. And it will be, no one say using the word deluge. That's the same word they use for the flood or Noah. But anyway, let's go back over here. It's like I said, this is one isolated event. You would say that it ain't nothing, but we're gonna go to the next one. Okay. Any comment?
Brother Leonard, you think they use deluge because they know who it's coming from?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's interesting that they would use that word.
Right, exactly. And the other thing about that is, like I was saying, with when you understand what a priest is and the scribe and all that, that's what these people are. So they lawyers. That's pretty much what a priest is. They lawyers. So they own Hollywood. So they the ones writing the scripts. That's what I'm telling you about the movies. The reason why the movies have what they have in them is these Edomites. That the wise men of Edom. They writing these scripts. So they're the ones controlling the media. They own the media and all that. So they the ones writing the scripts. They scribes. So yeah.
That makes sense. That's right. Because there's so much information in these movies.
Right.
To be going right over our heads.
Exactly. And then they do it intentionally. It's like poking the finger in your ear because they know the average person they don't understand what's being conveyed. Yeah. So this happening in Canada. Can you see that?
An extreme heat wave sweeping across Western Canada, claiming dozens of lives as people struggle to keep cool. The unprecedented heat smashed Canada's temperature record when the mercury hit 49 degrees Celsius. Cooling centres have been set up to give residents some respite from the sweltering heat, which is expected to last for several days yet. A
prolonged, dangerous, and historic heat wave engulfing Western Canada has already caused dozens of deaths. People are being encouraged to go to cooling centres to combat the extreme heat.
It's just unbearable. It's impossible to be out. So, never seen anything like this. I hope it never becomes like this ever again. It's not really pleasant. This is too much, too much summer for us here.
But some are enjoying being outdoors.
It doesn't feel like Vancouver, but it's an interesting experience. Yeah, it's been nice getting outside, but I've basically been consuming gallons of water the whole time.
Not surprising, with temperatures exceeding 45 degrees in some places and feeling close to 50 degrees in others because of the humid conditions. Some are taking to the water to cool down, while others are helping the vulnerable by distributing food and drink to provide relief. Officials point to this being part of a wider problem.
In this instance, I think the big lesson coming out of the past number of days is that the climate crisis is not a fiction. It is absolutely real. And if you look, I've had a briefing from the Wildfire Service yesterday and again today. The entire west coast of North America, from Baja to Alaska, is red hot. This is not a British Columbia problem. It's not a Canada problem. It is a global challenge, and we all need to have citizens of the world coming together.
School and college classes have been cancelled in British Columbia, which means more playtime, perhaps. But extreme heat and the search for relief looks like a climate emergency problem that just isn't going away.
Yeah, so I was telling you about how, the Most High be at work, but because he don't understand these lies they told us about what he can do and what he can't do and all that, and we not understanding how he operate, you don't see his hand and stuff. So like I was saying before, when he say, wicked folks, and you sitting there saying that the worst thing that you want to happen to you, the worst thing that you fear, that, you don't want to deal with, that's what he coming with. So, like I said, they want to tell us that Noah was an albino. So, come on. All you do is look at albinos and their characteristics. How in the hell is Noah albino? So, these people can't deal with the sun. When you understand about melanin, they can't deal with the sun. Well, look what he brought. You went over there to the west coast of Africa and got his people and did God knows what to them, and now here he come. You heard what she said? We don't need no summer. We don't need no more summer. That's the last thing they want to see is some blistering hot sun, because they lacking melanin. Well, that's what he bringing. The Egyptians was crazy about the Nile River. They worshiped the Nile River. He came, turned that into blood. Just what you don't want to see, that's what he gonna come with. Bring your fears upon you. That's one of his characteristics. Okay? Any comment?
That's scary.
Oh yeah, it is.
I mean, if you really just think about that, it's really scary.
Oh yeah, it's scary. And the thing about it is, this the part I was saying that I'm trying to convey to people that not understanding is, before you do something wicked as hell, you got to understand there's repercussions to it. So that should stop you from doing it. Because once you do it, it's repercussions to it. It's coming. Whether sooner or later. And now what we are today is gonna be sooner rather than later. But it's coming. Just when you thinking it ain't, you can got out of the way or it's in the clear, it's coming. It's consequences to it. He a judge. So it's coming. You ain't getting out of it like this. Like I said, the transatlantic slave trade. It's repercussions to what they done. And now we in the midst of it.
True.
You ain't getting out of it. Nothing. If it's wicked as hell, you ain't getting out of it. It's a judgment for what you've done. It's coming.
And then with JC, they got our people thinking that that he can forgive, he can die for their sins.
Right.
Like they're not going to be accountable.
Right. Exactly.
That's a no.
Right.
Exactly.
Yes, ma'am.
Just like we said about the I was talking about last night about the Gentiles. You know, when they they made this big old thing about how let me see, they made this big old thing about how the Gentiles was brought in. But when we know the Gentiles ain't brought in. When you go to Jubilees, they wasn't brought in. So that's a lie. You have to understand that. Yeah. Okay.
I think those disasters show them next time mind your own business and stay about ours.
Oh yeah, right. Exactly. And then the thing about it is, like I said, that's when you understand who our Redeemer is. Okay, so when they came to the West Coast of Africa, you know, they weren't finna all of a sudden stop doing what they're doing. They went all the way through with the process. Well, now you want the Most High to stop, he ain't stopping. He's going all the way through with the process. Same way you did to his people, that's what he's gonna do.
Right.
He ain't gonna just all of a sudden stop. You know what I'm saying?
Get him, Michael.
Right.
Okay.
I guess so. Yeah, so I got this one more. Anybody got any more comments on that? I got this one more. It's about this Asian thing they've been dealing with all this time about you know, all of a sudden they trying to protect the Asians, but they never protected us. So let's look at this. Hold up. Okay. Let me see what I'm doing. Okay, here we go.
There are more than 50 Chinatowns of all sizes spread across the United States. On the surface, they're vibrant cities within a city, like New York, San Francisco, Chicago, and Boston, bustling with tourists and natives seeking authentic cuisines like hot pot and dim sum, herbal medicines, and tchotchkes.
We can't hear it. I think you're on mute.
Story of how Chinatown originated lies within a strategy that Asian immigrants formulated to preserve elements of their culture and create a safe haven to escape from persecution. These distinct enclaves were created with little to no help from local governments.
The Chinese themselves started to acquire buildings, creating business networks that would grow Chinatown to actually be a very desirable place to live today. That was without government subsidies. That was without anything other than the ingenuity of the Chinese people themselves.
Today, this unique Asian...
So you say the thing about that is, the reason I'm showing you this, you notice how they just noticed how they got 50 Chinatowns and all scattered all over America, and how they flourishing. But look what they did to us as far as the Wall Streets, Black Wall Streets, and the black communities that was being coming up. They targeted them, but these Asian communities, you know, the only reason they're flourishing because they let them alone. But they came in and attacked us every time we had one
Right.
community. They came and attacked it, and people not looking at the impact of that. That's a major impact. That's the reason we in the predicament we in. That alone. But I mean, they sitting on the outside watching everything we doing. For you to know to do that, it means you watching everything we do.
Yeah.
So
every time we tried to build a desirable place, they destroyed it because they know once it was strong, that was it. It was over. They
right.
know how strong we are. Yes. So they made sure they destroyed it.
Exactly. And so they you know, over and over again they done that. Too. And so like I said, now the Most High coming with the drama, they want you. They all of a sudden they want him to back up and stop, but you ain't stop. So that's what I mean. But when the scribe was talking about recompense, that's what he's talking about. Recompense. Everything you done is coming back on you. Same way you can't get out of it. That's the thing. When Daniel said a certain man, you got to understand what that entails. This is same man, same angel, Lord of hosts, the Redeemer. He come and bring recompense. So whatever you got, whatever wicked sins, people you think that you got that you hold on to, Most High coming with it. He gonna bring that same thing on your own head, recompense on you. So if you want him to recompense on you, sow righteousness, and then he'll recompense righteousness on you. But if you can sow wickedness, it's what he gonna sow on your head.
Now, for those Chinese people, their nation can come and check America about them, but for us, it's going to take it's our Lord of Hosts, the King of Glory, that's going to check about us.
Right, and the thing about it, so that's the significance of understanding who our Redeemer and Savior is, because he's gonna he done told us he done turned his face on us. That's the reason why we in the predicament we in, because he done turned his face. But we see now he's turning back.
Right.
And that's what you see happening around the world. So let me read something right quick to make a point. I want to read something to show you how when you understand, when you understand who he is and what he's doing and how he operates. So I'm in Haggai. Yeah, I read this all the time, but a lot of times I don't think it'd be registered. So I'm in Haggai chapter 2, verse 20. And he needs somebody to turn off the music button. It says, and again the word of the Lord came unto Haggai in the 4th and 20th day of the month, saying, speak to Zerubbabel. You know, everybody know who that is now. Governor of Judah, saying, I will shake the heavens and the earth. Well, that's what he's doing now. We starting to see this, the beginning rings of it. He said, I will shake the heavens and the earth. Why? Because the Israelites in captivity in Babylon. So he's going to shake the heavens and the earth to bring them out. So he says, 21, speak to Zerubbabel, king of Judah, saying, I will shake the heavens and the earth. I will overthrow the thrones of kingdoms, and I will destroy the strength of the kingdoms of the heathen, and I will overthrow the chariots of those that ride in them, and the horses and their riders shall come down, everyone by the sword of his neighbor. That's why I'm showing you this. It ain't in one isolated place. There's all these countries, all the drummers. We see drama all around us in all these countries. In 23, in that day, said the Lord of hosts, I will take thee, O Zerubbabel, my servant, the son of Shealtiel, said the Lord, and I will make thee a signet, for I have chosen thee, said the Lord of hosts. So he went and got it's Messiah, his chosen one. Then he started shutting everything down. Well, it ain't nothing new under the sun, because That's what they're going to do at the end. I'm in Isaiah. They're going to do the same thing in the end. In Isaiah chapter 11, Isaiah verse 10. Isaiah 11 and 10. Okay, got it?
Yeah.
Yes.
And in that day, that's what we're waiting on. There shall be a root out of Jesse, David, which shall stand for an ensign for the people. To it shall the Gentiles seek, and his rest shall be glorious. And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall set his hand again a second time to recover the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria and from Egypt, and from Paphros and Cush, and from Elam and Shinar, and from Hamath, and from the isles of the sea. Isles of the sea is the Gentiles. So it ain't nothing new in the sun. So what we see him now, shaking the heavens, shaking all the kingdoms of the earth, slowly starting to happen. Because he want to take us from one place to another place, same way he did with the Israelites when they was in Babylon. He wanted them out of Babylon, and he wanted them back in Jerusalem. Now he wants us out of the West, back on this continent in Africa, back on the African plate where we came from. And that's what we see at the beginnings of. It's gonna get ugly and ugly.
Right.
Okay? That's how he works. So you can't see him if you don't understand how he works. Okay. Any comments or questions?
I just want to make a little comment and say we should not be surprised of everything that's happening across the world. Because like you said, it's time and it's gonna get worse and worse. So we shouldn't be surprised of what's happening in Germany and California, Utah, Canada, because it's time.
Right. Now it's time. So we got this one last one. This is a little need to know information about Africa, about what they're doing over there in order to prepare. Most I got them preparing for us, but they don't really know it. At least I don't know, but most people don't know. So here we go. And this right here is major. This is one of the things I'm saying that people should start looking at as far as investing or whatever. But here we go.
Sondi, showing you where development is happening. Please come and join us. Joint statement of the EU and Ghana on the start of trading under the EU-Ghana Interim Economic Partnership Agreement. Executive Vice President and Commissioner for Trade Valdis Dombrovskis and Hong.
So what's going on? The EU, all of Europe, they made a trade agreement with Ghana and with Africa. You know how major that is?
Alan Kieramaton, Minister of Trade and Industry of Ghana, are pleased to announce that July 1st, 2021 marks the start of effective implementation by Ghana of the Interim Economic Partnership Agreement, IEPA, between the European Union and Ghana. Since December 2016, the IEPA guarantees duty-free quota-free access to the EU market for products made in Ghana, and as of today Ghana starts liberalizing access to its market for 80% of the total volume of EU exports. This is crucial for developing and diversification of our bilateral trade. It also creates better opportunities for EU companies to trade and invest in Ghana and produce goods for export to the wider African market under the preferences available under the African Continental Free Trade Area. The removal of tariffs on intermediary goods and machinery from the EU under the IEPA will mean cheaper inputs for Ghanaian production. This will also make locally produced goods more competitive and support industrial development in Ghana and the country's integration into global value chains. In addition, trade-related development cooperation under the IEPA will facilitate reforms of the fiscal revenue system, improve the business environment, and promote the upgrading of the productive sectors in Ghana. Although the IEPA was signed in December 2007 and ratified by Ghana in 2016, The implementation of the tariff liberalization schedule was delayed pursuant to technical adjustments agreed between the EU.
Yeah, so I want to read something right here with the Most High said. What I said, what he said is going to come to pass. So I'm in Isaiah right here. We're witnessing this right here on this video. It says Isaiah 60. And I'm reading verse 4 and 5. So everything that we've been doing, the Wall Street and all that's over here, Washington, D.C., London, and the Vatican, that's all Gentiles. That's the forces of the Gentiles. That's what we've been dealing with the last 400 years, we know for sure. So it says in verse 4, lift up thine eyes round about and see, all they that gather themselves together, they come to thee. Thy sons shall come from afar, and thy daughters shall be nursed upon thy side. Not 5. Then thou shalt see. See that? You're going to see with your eyes. And flow together, and thine heart shall fear and be enlarged, because the abundance of the sea shall be converted unto thee. The forces of the Gentiles shall come unto thee. You're looking at it right here.
EU and Ghana. The necessary rules of origin documents to be used for trading, including the certificates of origin and origin declarations, have now been developed, and the codes and systems are in place for the start of the effective implementation of tariff cuts for EU products entering Ghana. Trading under the IEEPA reaffirms the deep interest of both Ghana and the EU to strengthen their long-standing trade and economic relationship.
They think it's for them. Esau, these bankers think that they doing all this is for them, but it's being converted, like he said, back over there. The trade, all the merchandise, all these connexes with all this stuff in it, all the trade being converted back over there. Forces of the Gentiles.
It also underscores their shared ambition to enhance relations between the EU and the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, and African states more broadly. Economic partnership agreements are a scheme to create a free trade area, FTA, between the European Union and the African, Caribbean and Pacific Group of States, ACP. They are a response to continuing criticism that the non-reciprocal and discriminating preferential trade agreements offered by the EU are incompatible with WTO rules. The EPAs date back to the signing of the Cotonou Agreement. The EPAs with the different regions are at different states of play. In 2016, EPAs with 3 African regional economic communities, East African Community, Economic Community of West African States, and
when they had the Berlin Conference, they went over and divided Africa up, and they converted all the forces of the Gentiles, converted it over here. Now the Most High converted it back.
Southern African Development Community were to be signed but faced challenges. Due to the continuing WTO incompatibility of previous arrangements, the EPA's key feature is their reciprocity and their non-discriminatory nature. They involve the phased-out removal of all trade preferences which have been established between the EU and the ACP countries since 1970.
So if you want to watch that, it's Ghana. EU has chosen Ghana as the only African country to trade with and accept. So see that in itself right there. When you're thinking like a Hebrew, it says Ghana, and it says Ghana, right? It says EU has chosen Ghana, not the other ones, not the other countries. This is where we going. EU has chosen Ghana as the only African country. See that? He just told us he's gonna convert the force of the Gentiles back to us. That's Jeremiah 29 tell you where we going. This is where they got us from. Okay. And comment. Any comments? Okay. It says I'm opening up now for questions, comments for the week, or anything somebody came across. Anybody got anything? Okay, I got some. Nobody got nothing?
Actually, I do have a question. Okay, so excuse me, you know how those the apocryphers tell us that the devil, well, was by Michael tied up and put in I guess like a dark place or something with the
Right.
plagues where he can't see.
Right.
So is it the fallen offspring that's doing, or all this wicked like Luciferian practices and all that? Because basically that's all this is Luciferian behaviors and practices that's like the racism and the various other things that's taking place against God's people.
Right.
So because we know the devil himself is tied up, so it has to be the spirits of their offspring or something. I don't know. I need you to explain that because I don't want to keep speculating.
Right. So have you ever heard of the? I mean, you're gonna have to do the research on it, but so I'm just jumping you off. You ever heard of intelligentsia?
Yes.
Okay, a lot of people don't know what that means, but it's the intelligentsia. So I'll give you a prime example. On the movie 300, they had this king Leonidas that was over those 300. He wanted to know what was going on. That's what these Greeks and Romans do. They go to, like when the Greeks went to Delphi. They went to this place called the Oracles of Delphi. They go in there, all that's demonic type of stuff. They go there to get an answer on a pressing issue that's dealing with their nation. So Leonidas went up to this certain place, up this cliff. You got to watch the movie. He went up there and he went up in this cave. It was these seven albino, come on now, 7 albino white men in there. They was intelligentsia. That's intelligentsia. So, but what they wanted from the Greek people all around there. They up on the mountain. I told you that's where these angels were. They up on the mountain and they all around that area of different countries. The Greek Isles. They giving them gold. They have to bring them young girls. They got to bring them young girls. So it's 7 of them, right? And they albinos. So what they tell me, they fallen angels, but didn't the Most High curse? He cursed Lucifer. He cursed Lucifer, right? What curse mean? He take the melanin out, they turn white. So what is I told you about Dracula. When the guy was tracking him because he elusive. He a serpent. Watch what a snake do. They elusive. So finally the guy figured out, tracked him down after years of researching, and he found out how to track him. Well, he caught him in that room with the girl. He know he's gonna come in there with a girl because he got to get the blood. So he was sitting there waiting on him. And when he came in there, the guy called him out. He was this big old, like a 12-foot tall, like half animal, like man, but he had wings. But he was albino, and the wings was shriveled up. So Most High cursed him, didn't he? He cursed Miriam, he took the melanin out of him. He cursed him. He cursed Cain, took the melanin out of him. So that was these seven albino men up on this mountain was angels that been cursed. And they want women. They made a pact on Mount Hermon to go down and sleep with women on earth. So they got all this gold up there in this cave, and they giving this gold out to the people around them for girls, to the kings. The kings coming to them. Kings coming to them. And they give them knowledge and understanding of certain things and gold in trade for young girls. So we say, what you saying? The Most High says that I'm righteous. What do you mean by I'm righteous? Every time he sent Israel into captivity, he didn't get rid of all of them. He didn't get rid of all of them. He always kept a remnant. He always had a remnant left. Well, when he started those fallen angels, he left a remnant of them. You say, what are you talking about? Them the ones he made the pact with at the Tower of Babel. So Daniel says, go look at it. They still here. So let's look at it. And Daniel. Chapter 10. Right. So I'm in chapter 10, verse 19.
Got it.
Okay, 19 says, and said, "O man, greatly," 18. Then there came again and touched me one like the pierce of a man, and he strengthened me. And he said, "O man, greatly beloved, fear not, peace be unto thee. Be strong, yea, be strong." And when he had spoken unto me, I was strengthened. And he said, "Let my Lord speak, for thou hast strengthened me." Then said he, "Know not wherefore I come unto thee, and now I will return and fight with the Prince of Persia." See that? He fight. Prince of Persia is this angel that he gave the region of Persia to at the Tower of Babel. When he divided the earth up between these wicked angels, the remnant of the wicked angels. So he says, to fight with the Prince of Persia, and when I am gone forth, lo, the Prince of Greece. It's another wicked angel. So that's what they're dealing with. Yeah, he bind Aziel. He bind Aziel and all those other angels, Lucifer and them, but he left a remnant of him. Yeah, so they know that. These Edomites and all them and these people, that's what they like he's saying, my name. When you understand who the Lord of hosts is, his name, the Most High made him, Michael, his name is above all the other names. But they got names too. When they showed us the names in Enoch. So if they know their names, they know how to call them. They been tricked off. We using these names here for formality. Well, we don't know their names. They didn't trick the names off, but they know these beings' names. They calling them. They dealing with them, and they giving them information. So, like I said before, they made a mistake in Africa. I mean, they made a mistake when we was in Egypt, and the Lord of hosts came and delivered us. They said, "Let us make let us put these people in slavery. Let's deal wisely with them." Who you think talking? So we got away then, but they got it down pat now with technology. See how they wiping us out? The Most High got to come out. They got it down pat. They done learn from their mistakes. These intelligent beings that ain't never died. They can't die. So from the mistakes they made in the past, now they got it down pat. And if the Most High don't come back, they gonna wipe us out. Look at coronavirus. They ain't have no coronavirus back then, but now they got it. They got all this technology. They know just what to do now to wipe us out. But the Most High is on the move now to cut that off. Because like you said, if he didn't come back, these wicked folks would destroy the whole, not only us, but the whole world. So they being counseled by a remnant of these fallen angels that's here. Like I was saying right here, I was talking to somebody the other night. So I'm in Genesis. Like, quick, show you something else that we reading over. Genesis chapter 18. Genesis 18. Let me know when you get it. It says, and the Lord appeared unto him in the plains of Mamre. See that? So why is it saying that? There's a giant that lived there. That's his region where he lived in. That's his name right there. Well, we also got a fallen name. If you go back to the story of Abraham and Isaac when he wanted them to be sacrificed. Do the Most High require human sacrifices?
No.
No, sir.
That's a fallen angel trying to get Abraham to sacrifice Isaac. Because why? Jacob is in Isaac's womb. He's trying to cut off Jacob coming. So he said, let's look at it. I mean, let me find that too. It go more in depth in the Joshua, but I'm gonna show you this right here. So right now, trying to find in the King James. Well, he went to go sacrifice Isaac. Yeah, here you go. I mean, chapter 22.
What book?
Which book was that?
Genesis chapter 22.
Thank you.
Okay.
What's up, D. Ray? Okay. So I'm picking up verse 7. Abraham, everybody know the story. Abraham was commanded by Isaac to sacrifice Isaac. So Isaac spake unto Abraham, his father, and said, my father, he said, here I am, my son. And he said, behold, the fire and the wood, but where is the lamb? See that? That's what we supposed to be asking the question right now with JC. The fire and the wood, but where it says, where's the lamb, right? Let me see. The lamb for the burnt offering. 8. And Abraham said, my son, God will provide himself a lamb for the burnt offering. So they went both of them together. And they came to the place which God had told them of. And Abraham built an altar there and laid the wood in order and bound Isaac, his son, and laid him on the altar upon the wood. And Abraham stretched forth his hand and took the knife to slay his son. Yeah, that already sound, something ain't right with that, right? 11. And the angel of the Lord called unto him out of heaven and said, Abraham, Abraham. And he said, here I am, right? And then 12. And he said, lay not thine hand upon the lad, neither do thou anything unto him. For now I know that thou fearest God, seeing thou hast not withheld thy son, thine only son. And Abraham lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, behind him was a ram caught in the thicket by his horns. And Abraham went and took them. So what's missing out of that? He allowed his wicked angel to go and tempt Abraham. And then when he saw Abraham, that Abraham was going to do what he said, then he called and stopped Abraham from killing that Isaac. And when he did that, this angel manually split. He took off. When Michael showed up and called him out of heaven and told him, now I know, he took off. But he had sent this wicked spirit, which ain't no but angels or spirit, this wicked spirit, and he tempted Abraham. He brought him another sacrifice, make that sacrifice, but then Michael came in, stepped in before he sacrificed Isaac. And so that's in the I'll find it, I'll show it to you. But it's in, if I'm not mistaken, it's in the Book of Jubilees. So that's what's going on. It's a remnant left here. That's where all these secret societies and all that, and they have these different secret meetings and all that. That's what they're doing. They summon these demons, which are evil spirits, which we know how we get them. Giant died. That spirit didn't come from heaven. It didn't come from Yahweh. It's a mingled spirit. So it's bound to the earth until the Most High judges this place. So that's what a wicked spirit is. And then you got a remnant that the Most High left for these giants. So that's the order that's in place. These remnant of these giants, remnant of these fallen angels, and these evil spirits. And that's what these people are operating out of. And he told them they're going to continually attack us, Israelites. The reason why we catch so much hell, we caught so much hell in the transatlantic slave trade, because of these wicked spirits and these remnant of these fallen angels. So let's look at that. Since we there, it says that when they brought us over here, what they had us in. What they had us in on the boat and down in the bottom of the ship. They had chains, right? So what did these giants, these wicked spirits, before they lost their flesh body, They witnessed. The Most High said, let them, he sent Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, them down, bind those fallen angels, and let them see me destroy their sons in their face. So, and then he said, chain them, put them in chains, these fallen angels. So he put them in chains and feathers and bound them. So the remnant, no, it saw that. So look what happened to the Lord of Hosts children. They came right back and bound us in chains and feathers. That's why it was so horrific. It was a payback for what happened to their forefathers. Most High, right today, they bound and chained in different parts of the earth. And he said, put stones over their face so they can't see the light. And that's going over people's heads. So because they doing it right now in the prison system. You ain't acting right, they take you to a room with dark head and lock the door. See how you deal with that. Mind can't handle it. To be in utter darkness. Okay. Any comments? Did I answer your question?
Yeah, it does. Absolutely.
Right.
Thank you.
So it's powers and principalities behind this system that we see, the four beasts, it's powers and principalities behind it. In high places. That's behind it. And all these secret societies, these bankers, that's what I was telling you about. That's what Kabbalah is. Kabbalah is that way Kabbalah is a ritualistic system in place where they can call these spirits and deal with them. They call them this. That's what they were doing in the Most High was telling them. You got to understand this. The priests, the Levites, was in Jerusalem. The Most High took Ezekiel and took him by the nape of his hair, took him to Jerusalem, and he showed him. He said, look down in the bottom of this, look down in the bottom of the temple, look what they're doing. They were down there summoning demons in the bottom of the temple. It ain't nothing new under the sun what they're doing now. So you got to think about that. Lord of Hosts and all the might and power he showed them in Egypt, delivered them. Now they didn't came and built him a temple, and you at the bottom of his temple summoning demons. He don't have enough power for you. His power ain't suffice. You down the bottom of the temple calling demons and fallen angels, using witchcraft. That's how we got over here.
So that MK Ultra and the Luciferians are the ones that started with that. And I was reading a book. I'm not finished reading it yet. It's not that long, but someone shared that with me. I can get a better understanding of how to operate, because you'd be surprised how things happen. I said, well, how did that? That's because they're connected, and they're connected, but they're following that Luciferian fallen angel type of whatever going on earth, and it is against Israel. It's against other people, but Israel, I believe, is their ultimate target. With what they do, and it is, to me, it is witchcraft, because they be praying to the devil for real.
Right. And but the thing about it is they know their names. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. You can call somebody all day long. You don't know their name, they ain't gonna answer you.
Right.
So that's what they didn't attack in the scriptures. They didn't throw us off. Like I said, it worked. It was super slick, but it ain't working now because the Most High put the Spirit out on the chosen. So they don't want you to know his name. He keep telling you all through there, my name. But they didn't throw us off on that. But what I want to deal with a little bit, I might make a class out of it, is this MK Ultra thing. The MK Ultra is, they got and this is the basis behind a lot of movies you watching, but you're not understanding what's going on. So it's torture, extreme torture. That's what this Pizzagate about. They taking little bitty kids. You got to imagine. You take a little boy, especially, or either a little girl. You take a little boy and violate them.
Yes.
Come on, man. And they 4 years old, 5 years old. So and then, but not just one time, every day. Every day at a certain time of day, you come in there. The kid know you coming. He know what's gonna happen. So you got to think about what is going on with his mind. So they bring severe torture to a person, and then that person end up having to do something with their mind to not deal with that when it comes. They don't want to be in a state of mind when that person do that to them. So they end up getting split personalities. Well, that's what they developing.
Right.
And each one of them personalities, they bring a demon in there because they know his name. And they bring that demon and put him there. Then they come with another one. Then they put another one demon there. Before you know it, he got 20 or 30 demons in them. And so, but all you have to do is, when you come to that person, you say, whatever one you want to deal with, you call his name. Then that person, that's what rise up, and the person start acting like that particular person. It's about 5 movies I got in my head, but I got to get the movies down. So that's what they showing. But you're not understanding. You thinking it's a movie, but they showing you how MK Ultra work. And so you say, who are these little kids? Well, it's the people you're dealing with. All the senators and Republicans and all them, the ones they prepping for presidents.
Right.
They show you that in the movie. They show you that in the movie. Fallen. The movie Fallen and the movie Manchurian Candidate. That's the movie Manchurian Candidate.
Brother Leonard, don't they got a movie called Split where the man got 27 different personalities?
Yeah. That's the movie I was talking about. That's the when you watch that movie, that's going to they actually showing you what they're doing. They done abuse this boy so bad and they done put all these different personalities within him. And they know just how to open up a certain door. After they complete the process, insert that demon in that little area, then they go to another one, open up another one. But all of them being opened up through extreme torture. And it's got to be with kids. They create by the time they get to a certain age, they didn't create that's all Oswald was. But we'll talk about something else. We'll talk about something else. So anyway, that's what that is. That's what MK Ultra is. You gotta understand that. Right.
Beyonce got one of them. She called herself Sasha Fierce.
Okay. Yeah, right. And Nicki Minaj. Right. And what's name alluded to it too. Denzel said that it's the same thing he do when he get a character. When they give him a script for a certain character, then he have to go do this same thing, get set up. And that's what he's talking about. Right. And that's why like I said before, you gotta go back. Like I said, another example that on a mass level is crack cocaine. They did that to us as a people on a mass level, crack cocaine. So you gotta look at, like I'm often telling people, R. Kelly. Go back to the 60s and 70s. You had a guy like R. Kelly, smooth dude like that. All he doing, he talking to the women, the older women his age. They crazy about him. Where all this crazy stuff come in where you end up in jail? Because they done did that to him. They ain't none of him. And that's what they did all of them. That's why all of a sudden now you go over you fringing behind a 5-year-old or a 7-year-old. They ain't none of them. They ain't him. They didn't work their magic on him. And that's what's happening to everybody that start dealing with Hollywood. You ain't gonna get out of it. You think you're getting out of it, but you ain't get out of it. They done masterminded it. They pros at it. You ain't gonna get out of it. And so, like I said before, when you mix an angelic being with a human, homosexuality is the result. So the giant died The spirit is homosexual. It's a homosexual spirit. You can't get out of it. So yeah, that's what's going on, and that's what they already know. That's what the Most High is telling you. But they done tricked it off with this New Testament. That's what you ain't gonna get nothing else. You're gonna get a perverted personality. That's what's coming for. That's where it comes from. That's the origins of it. That's how I can tell you the Gentiles ain't nothing to know with son. We see what they were doing in the book of Adam and Eve. They got a perverted nature that's built in them, in their DNA. They ain't nothing to know with son. That's a lie from the pits of hell. Okay? Any comments?
Leonard, I think that was in what you was looking for in Jubilees was chapter 17 and 18.
What is about the main challenge with Abraham?
Yes.
17?
17 and 18. Mm-hmm.
Chapters?
Yes.
Yeah, right. Okay, here you go. 16 says, in a new moon on the 4th month, we appeared to Abraham at the oak of Mamre. I just told you that. See, that's a giant. So if that's a region where a giant is, then how did the giant come about? So it's an angel there too. So it says, and we walked with him, and we announced to him that Sarah, his wife, would give him a son. And Sarah laughed, and she heard that he had spoken these words to Abraham, and we warned her, and she became afraid and denied that she had laughed because of the words. We told her the name of her son, as his name is ordained and written in the heavenly tablets. And it is Isaac. So let's look at that right quick. It says, we told her the name, right? This is the angels talking. Jubilees is the angels talking, telling you, giving you the information. So it says, we told her the name of her son, right? These angels told her that. And his name is ordained and written in the heavenly tablets. So you have people saying that the book of that Gabriel was talking about in Daniel chapter 10 is the Tanakh. But look what he's telling you. It says, and we told her the name of her son, and his name is ordained and written in the heavenly tablets. They ain't on the earth. See that? Anyway, we told her that when we returned to her at the set time, she will have conceived a son. In this month, the Lord executed judgment on Sodom and Gomorrah and Zebulun and all the region of Jordan, and he burned them with fire and brimstone, and he destroyed them, and they are destroyed until this day because of their works. They are wicked and vast sinners, and they defile themselves and commit fornication in their flesh and work uncleanness on the earth, as I have told you. In like manner, God will execute judgment on places where they have done similar to the uncleanness of the Sodomites, and they will suffer the judgment of Sodom. But for Lot, we made an exception, okay? For God remembered Abraham and set him out from the place of the overthrow. Okay, let me see where we at. Let me start at 17. But in Isaac shall his name, the offspring, be called, that all the offspring of his sons should be Gentiles and be counted with the Gentiles. But for the sons of Isaac, one should become a holy offspring and should not be counted as among the Gentiles. For he should become the portion, the dowry of the Most High, and all his offspring have fallen into possession of God, that they should be of the Lord, a people for his possession above all nations, and that they should become a kingdom of priests and in a holy nation. Yeah. You say 17? I don't see it.
Your book reads a little different from mine, but yeah, it talks about.
I just saw it. Let me see.
Yeah, the burnt offering for mine was chapter 17, 16.
It's in 18.
Okay.
It says, it says 8. It says, and he built the altar. This is 18 and 8 of Jubilees. And he built the altar and he placed the wood on the altar and built Isaac and bound Isaac his son and placed him on the wood that was on the altar and stretched out his hand to take the knife to kill Isaac his son. And I stood in the presence, this is the Lord of hope. And I stood in the presence of him and before Prince Master. See that? You might want to write that name down. It's Mastema. It's a fallen angel. It's a remnant. He's over the remnant of the fallen angel. It says, and the holy angel stood and wept over the altar as Prince Master. See that? Prince, just like the prince of Persia and the prince of Greece. Prince Mansi and his angels rejoiced and said, Isaac will be destroyed, and we will see if Abraham be faithful. And the Lord said, command him not to lay his hand on the lad, nor do anything to him, for I have shown that he fears the Lord. And I called to him from heaven. See that? This is what we just read in King James. I called unto him from heaven and said to him, Abraham, Abraham. And he was terrified and said, here I am. And I said to him, lay not your hand on the lad, neither do anything to him, for now I have shown that you fear the Lord, and I have not withheld your son, your firstborn son, from me. Right? Prince Manji was put to shame. See that? The saint, he was standing there, but they don't want you to know that in King James, and was bound by the angels. And Abraham lifted up his eyes and looked and saw a ram caught by his horns. And Abraham went and took the ram and offered it as a burnt offering in the place of his son. See that?
What book is that?
That's Jubilees.
Oh, okay, because if that Prince Master is supposed to be an angel, how come his name didn't have EL at it?
So a lot of them don't have that. Hello?
Oh, you're kidding.
1 minute. Hello? Yeah, I'm gonna call you as soon as I finish class. I got about an hour. Yeah, I'm in class. Okay. I'm gonna call you as soon as I finish. All right. Okay, so what you were saying? What you were saying?
No, I just noticed. I found it. I noticed that the name didn't have EL, but you said a lot of them don't. I didn't know that. I did not. Right.
Okay.
It didn't click here. That Prince in front of his name, then he was an angel.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, so anybody got anything else on that? Anybody got anything else on that? Okay, so what I'm gonna do right here was, I had asked earlier, anybody have any questions? So what I got is some questions right here that I'm gonna ask. So we was talking last night. I shared with you some different books and different how to go in those certain books and get the truth out of the book, because that's what the Most High said to, deal with. He's gonna deal with us in these last days. He's gonna open up books to us, and in those books he's gonna reveal his truth to us. So my first question, based on what we was doing last night, was, can anybody name any of those crucified saviors that we talked about? Anybody know the name of any of them?
Horus.
Okay, yeah, that's out of Egypt.
Krishna, Mithrath.
Right. Okay. Anybody else?
Buddha.
Yeah, Buddha, right, exactly. Yeah, Dionysus, and you had
Tammuz.
Yeah, Tammuz. And then you had so you paying attention to that. Okay, so another one is I got a question. Was the Gentiles grafted in? Was the Gentiles did the Most High glorify the Gentiles?
No.
Oh, he didn't, right?
No.
Okay, what was the justification by the Paul? Well, they said to verify that he brought in the Gentiles. Because you got to be able to deal with that. You got, you have some people that, They don't want to deal with the New Testament, but you gotta do a cross references back and forth in order to go to another level. So where they said in the New Testament, that they gave them justification, so-called justification policy. I'm gonna give you that myself so you can write it down. It's Ephesians chapter 2, verse 11, and Romans.
Was it
11.
Romans?
Romans 11:11.
Yeah, 11 and verses 11 through 36.
That was Romans 11, and what was the verses?
Romans 11, chapter 11, verses 11 through 36.
Okay.
Okay. And then I got a couple more. It says, what's the name of the two books? This might have been on the other cup we was talking after we got off, but what's the name of the two books that included Daniel's history in Israel besides the Book of Daniel?
Say that again.
Susanna and Bell of Dragon.
Say, what's the name of the two books that include Daniel's history in Israel and besides the Book of Daniel? So
Bell and Dragon and Susanna, the Book of Susanna.
Okay. Anybody get that? Everybody get that?
In the Apocrypha.
Okay. So yeah, some people might not hear this, but I was telling them last night after we got off the line, we was on the conference call, was it's books missing out of the Book of Daniel. It's like about chapters. It's like about as far as I'm concerned, and what I've been looking at, Daniel, the Book of Daniel is just as long as Isaiah and Jeremiah. They shortened it because it's so much. Most High was informing Daniel that you gotta turn that off. So the Most High was informing Daniel that Israel as a nation was coming to an end. So there's a major things that's going on in the Book of Daniel. And in order to bring in the New Testament, they had to do something with that book. So it's chapters missing out of there. And I was showing them that we went to the Apocrypha, the book of the story of Susanna is come out of the Book of Daniel. And the story of Bel and the Dragon come out of the Book of Daniel. Just got to go look at it. You'll see it. Daniel involved in all that. The one, Susanna, is a story about Daniel as a young man before Nebuchadnezzar came. And they took him, and then he was taken to Babylon. And when he got to Babylon, they informed him of Daniel's capabilities. That's why he was brought up before the king, him, Shadrach, and Meshach, and Abednego. Somebody got to mute their mic. So anyway, it says, I got another question. So it says, what was Bathsheba's father's name? Anybody know what Bathsheba's father's name was? It was Elam. Elam. Eliam. See, what tribe was he from?
Levite.
Right, exactly. He's from tribe of Levi. So, just for a golden nugget, what tribe was Moses' daddy from?
Levite.
Okay. You think that's a coincidence?
No.
Okay. So then it says, what was Elam's prayer about? What was he concerned about?
Bathsheba marrying a king.
So he wanted because of her
beauty, right?
Her countenance and all that. He wanted her to be justified by her marrying a king out of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That was a specific prayer.
Okay.
Right. So did that happen?
Yes.
Did, yes.
Okay. Who did she originally marry?
Uriah.
The Hittite.
Exactly. Okay. Right. Yeah. So right here. So that's some. Yeah. Appreciate that, brother. Yeah. So that's another thing to look at. See, they spell Elam two different ways. They got Elam right here, Elam, but in the Book of Nathan, you got it. It's Eliam. So that's some be looking for. Okay. Okay. So let me go and I'm gonna do this right here before we close out. It's I'm gonna read out of Jubilees. Okay. I'm in chapter 19. That's what I want to try to get around to back to reading out here. I wanted to deal with Joshua Jubilees, and it started out like that. Kind of got something else. I'm in chapter 19 of Jubilees. It says, in the first year of the first week, in the 42nd Jubilees, Abraham returned and lived across from Hebron in Kara Arba for 2 weeks of the year. So what you have to understand about this, that's a giant. That Kara Arba, that's a giant. And so he is giant, and it also was a place. They named this town, the city, after this giant. This is before the Israelites came there. That's KIRJATH/ARBA. So that's giant. Just Google it. But that place was renamed to Hebron. You have to understand that. 2, in the first year of the third week of this Jubilee, the Jubilees of days, the life of Sarah was completed, and she died in Hebron. Abraham went to mourn over her and buried her, and we tested him to see if his spirit was patient, and he had neither anger nor contempt in the words of his mouth, and he was found patient in this and was not disturbed. In patience of spirit, he discussed with the children of health that they should give him the place in which to bury his dead. And the Lord gave him grace before all who saw him. And he asked the sons of Heth in gentleness, and they gave him the land of the double cave over beside Mamre, that is Hebron, for 400 pieces of silver. They said to him, we shall give it to you for nothing. But he would not take it for them for nothing. So he gave them the price, and he paid the money in full. And he bowed down before them twice. And after this, he buried the dead in a double cave. All the days of the life of Sarah were 127 years. That is 2 jubilees, 4 weeks, and 1 year. These are the days of the years of life of Sarah. This is the 10th trial with which Abraham was tested, and he was found faithful and patient in spirit. He did not say a single word regarding the rumor in the land of how God had said that he would give it to him and to his offspring after him, but instead he begged for a place there to bury his dead, because he was found faithful. It was recorded on the heavenly tablets that he was a friend of God. In the 4th year of this jubilee, he took a wife for his son Isaac, and her name was Rebekah, and the daughter of Bethuel, the son of Nahor, the brother of Abraham, the sister of Laban, and the daughter of Bethuel. And Bethuel was the son of Milcah, who was the wife of Nahor, the brother of Abraham. And Abraham took to him the third wife from among the daughters of his household servants, for Hagar had died before Sarah, and her name was Kukuk. And she gave birth to 6 sons, Zebulun, Jokshan, Midian, Isbak, and Shu, in the 2 weeks of years. And in the sixth week, in the 2nd year of it, Rebekah gave birth to 2 sons, Isaac, Jacob, 2 sons of Isaac, Jacob and Esau. And Jacob had no beard, and check this out. And Jacob had no beard to describe him right here. You tell me if they got the same daddy. It says 13, and Jacob had no beard and was a straight and tall man which dwelt in tents. And Esau was a powerful man of the field and was hairy. The youth grew, and Jacob learned to write, but Esau did not learn, for he was a man of the field and a hunter. See that? And he learned war. See that? That's the characteristics of the Gentiles and these Canaanites. And all his deeds were fierce. See that? You ain't got to go no further. Yeah, it's a dead calendar line. 15, Abraham loved Jacob, but Isaac loved Esau. And Abraham saw the deeds of Esau, and he knew that in Jacob should his name be and his offspring be called. And he called Rebekah and gave commandments regarding Jacob. For he knew that she too loved Jacob much more than Esau. So you see that right there? So Abraham, everything you seen Rebekah do at the time when Isaac got ready to bless Esau, Abraham had told her right here. I'm gonna read it again. Abraham saw the deeds of Esau. See that? Just like I didn't figure it out. Abraham figured it out. Esau, something going on with him. He ain't none of Isaac's son. So he says, Abraham saw the deeds of Esau, and he knew that in Jacob should his name and offspring be called. He called Rebekah and gave commandments. These commandments that Rebekah performed when she told him to put on this thing on his arms and told him to go and get him a lamb and so she could make pottage for him. Well, he knew that she too loved Jacob much more than Esau. And he said to her, my daughter, watch over my son Jacob, for he shall take my place on the earth. He shall be a blessing throughout the children of men, and for the glory of all the offspring of Shem. So let's look at it. 17, he said to her, my daughter, watch over my son Jacob. It's only one man right now. Ain't no 12 tribes. He says, watch over my son Jacob. He shall take my place on the earth. See that? He shall be a blessing throughout all the children of men. So all the races on the earth, Jacob gonna be a blessing to him. Why? He gonna have 12 sons. The nation of Israel. See that? Throughout the children of men, for the glory, look at this, for the glory of all the offspring of Shem. So out of all the Shem's offspring, Jacob had 12 sons. That's the glory of Shem offspring. Who else to suffer and serve? 18, I know that the Lord will choose him to be a people, a nation, see that? And a possession to himself above all people that are on the face of the earth. Isaac, my son, loves Esau. Look at that. Isaac, my son, this Jacob Abraham talking. Isaac, my son, loves Esau more than Jacob. See that? But I see that you truly love Jacob, and still further to your kindness to him, and regard him in love, for he shall be a blessing to us on the earth from now on to all generations of the earth. Let your hands be strong, and let your heart rejoice in your son Jacob, for I have loved him far beyond all my sons. See that? That's righteousness. And he shall be blessed forever, and his offspring shall fill the whole earth. If a man can number the sands of the earth, his offspring also shall be numbered. And all the blessings with which the Lord has blessed me and my offspring shall belong to Jacob and his offspring always. In his offspring shall my name be blessed, in the name of my fathers Shem, Noah, Enoch, Mahalalel, Enoch, Seth, and Adam. See that? Go all the way back to Adam. And these shall serve to lay the foundation of the heavens and to strengthen the earth and to renew all the stars and the planets. See that? You thinking that he says these men to renew the stars and the planets which are in the sky. So something happened. We fell off. Look at this. He says, these shall serve to lay the foundation of the heavens, these men, and to strengthen the earth, to renew all the stars and the planets which are in the sky. So we over here in America running around bumping each other. But we had the capabilities and the powers to renew the planets and the sky and to renew the heavens. So something happened. See that? So if you the enemy, you ain't got no other choice but to take the books and do something with them. 27. He called Jacob, kissed him in front of Rebekah, his mother, blessed him and said, Jacob, my beloved son, whom my soul loves, my God bless you from above the sky, and may he give you all the blessings with which he blessed Adam, Enoch, Noah, and Shem, and all the things of which he told me, and all the things which he promised to give me, may he cause to be yours and your offspring forever, according to the days of heaven above the earth. Now here we go. And the spirits, see that S, the spirits of Mamre. So what's that telling us? Mamre over some spirits. So what spirit? These fallen angels. He Lord of hosts over these fallen angels. It's the remnant that the Most High left, being that he righteous, shall not rule over you or over your offspring or turn you from the Lord, who is your God, from now and forever. So let's look at that. 28. The spirits of Mamre shall not rule over you or over your offspring. So what's that telling me? These four beasts gonna come upon the earth. This is ruling the four beasts right here. This remnant. See that? This remnant right here is the one behind the four beasts. Principalities and powers at high places. Okay, 29. May the Lord God be the Father to you, and may you be like his firstborn son. See that? And to the people always, go in peace, my son. And they both went out together from Abraham. Rebekah loved Jacob in all her heart and with all her soul, very much more than Esau. But Isaac loved Esau much more than Jacob. So I'm gonna read 20 and then somebody got a question?
I got a question.
What you got?
Okay. Yeah, so about their ability to change the luminaries, is that yet to come? Is that
They had it before, and that's why we failed. That's why he's saying, can anybody believe when they pass by and see what the Most High did to the Israelites? They can't believe it because of the fall was so great, and we're not encompassing how great a fall it was because of. So when you go back to Melchizedek, like I was telling you, Melchizedek is a title. So Enoch went up. Enoch found out how to do all this stuff. All this stuff you talking about right here, that's what was given to Enoch. So they don't want us to have that. That's why the book of Enoch was taken out. And so we fell from that understanding. We didn't fail from it. So my question to you is, the melanin, when he said he breathed into Adam, the man he formed, he breathed into him the breath of life. That was the melanin. So where is the melanin? It's in everything. It's in the plant. It's both in heaven and it's on earth. That's the power right there. And the pineal gland is what's dictating all that. But that's what they didn't attack. They didn't attack our pineal gland. That's the control center. We don't know how to use it. So it says, and one of the things that we read over says that Enoch was Noah. Lamech, when Noah was born, Lamech said something was wrong with Noah. So he wanted to go and find out what was wrong with him. So he says he says Lamech caused himself to fly to the north, some part of the earth he went to. But we read over there. Just like I showed you Daniel, when he found out what Jeremiah had told him that the 70 years was almost up, he did what? He had the ability to oppress his flesh. He oppressed his flesh and brought the spirit man up. And what happened? Gabriel said, we saw what you did. The first day when you done that, we saw it. Now I done came for your words. We don't know how to do that now. So that in itself eliminating JC right there, because you been calling him for how long? You ain't got no answer. We still with racism. You know how many Negroes and prayed about racism? Ain't nothing happened. Because he ain't got nothing to do with it. He ain't the Redeemer. You know, that's hard to wrap your mind around, but you ain't got nothing to do with nothing. It's high time you got that in your head and wrap it around your head. You ain't got nothing to do with nothing. Yeah.
Hey, Leonard, I have a question.
Okay.
Is the reason the Lord of hosts left the remnant of fallen angels at that time, is that the same reason that he left those nations in the land when Israel went in to possess the land?
Right. Exactly. Right. It's always a remnant left. And that's being righteous. So let's look at that. Because like I was saying before, when you start getting these are like, this is what I mean by thinking like a Hebrew. So, Obadiah right quick. And so this is something that you develop over time, and you able to write it, go in and just, like I said, pluck out, get the truth out of there and go on about your business. So, Obadiah. Obadiah. You there?
Got it.
Yes, sir. Yeah, got it.
So when I'm going is I'm saying to be righteous, you're gonna always leave a remnant. So that's why the Most High talking about being gluttonous. You sitting there, you got a whole half a hog or half a lamb, and you sit there because it's all there. You try to eat all of it. So right here, I'm in chapter 4. I'm in verse 4. So it's Esau. Esau was raised by Abraham. He understood that. So verse 4 says, though thou art exalted thyself as the eagle, he's talking about Esau, and thou set thy nest among the stars. That's among the Israelites. That's what it was. Thence will I bring thee down, says the Lord. Now, here we go. If thieves, that's Esau, came to thee. I told you they robbed Israel when Anti-Epiphanes came. He says, if thieves came to thee, robbers by night, how are they cut off? Now, here you go. Would they not have stolen till they had enough? If grape gatherers came to thee, would they not have left some grapes? If they righteous, would they not have left some grapes? See that? We're reading over that. If you righteous, you left a remnant, you left some grapes. But you wanted all the Israelites gone because you want the land. See that? Whole other meaning to that. Wicked as hell. And so he tell you what they did over here in 13 and 14. Thou should not have entered into the gates of my people in the day of their calamity. Yea, they should not have looked on their affliction in the day of their calamity, nor have laid hands on their substance in the day of their calamity. Neither should thou have stood in the crosshairs to cut off those that did escape. That's the remnant. The righteous remnant that the Most High, the righteous person would always leave. He says, did escape. Neither should thou have delivered up those that did remain in the day of their distress. There it is. So, like I'm saying, in itself right there, how you gonna get the full understanding and the full meaning, spiritual meaning out of that if you don't understand that the Most High, what righteousness means. Okay. Anybody else got anything? It's got about 13 verses in chapter 20. I'm going to read chapter 20. In the 42nd Jubilee, in the first year of the 7th week, Abraham called Ishmael and his 12 sons, and Isaac and his 2 sons, and the 6 sons of Kekuk and their sons. And he commanded them that they should observe the way of the Lord, and they should work righteousness and love each other, each his neighbor, and act in this manner among all men, that they should each walk with regard to the ways of the Lord, to do judgment. See that? It's our problem. We can't do judgment. So we like to fish out of the water. He says to regard the ways of the Lord and to do judgment and righteousness on the earth. We can't do that. We ain't allowed to do that. That's our dilemma. 4, he said, if any man or maid commits fornication among you, look at this, burn her with fire. That eliminates a big problem right there. It says, and do not let them commit fornication with her with their eyes or with their heart. Imagine that. Come on. That's America right there. Everybody got a problem with their eyes. It says fornication with her with their eyes or with their heart. And do not let them take to themselves wives from the daughters of the Canaan, because the offspring of Canaan will be rooted out of the land. Okay? And he told them, this is why the book ain't in there. And he told them about the judgment on the giants and the judgment on the Sodomites. See that? Sodomites, you know what that is. How they had been judged because of their wickedness and had died because of their fornication and uncleanness and corruption through fornication together. So what are you talking about when he said uncleanness? They want to go into men. That's embedded in the DNA. When an angel went into the woman, that's embedded in the DNA. Right? 6, he said, guard yourselves from all fornication. That's why it's all over Hollywood. And uncleanness, and from all pollution of sin, or you will make our name a curse, and your whole life a shame, and your sons will be destroyed by the sword, and you will become a curse like Sodom, and all that is left of you shall be as sons of Sodom and Gomorrah. That's where we at. So I implore you, my son, love God of heaven and cling to all his commandments. Do not walk after their idols. It's JC. After their ways of uncleanness. Do not make yourselves molten or graven gods. They are empty, and there is no spirit in them, for they are work of man's hands, and all who trust in them trust in nothing. So let me read that again, because it's JC all day long. You can deal with it, or do what you want to do with it. Do not walk after their idols and after their ways of their uncleanness, or do not make yourselves molten or graven gods. They are empty. There's no spirit in them, for they are the works of man's hands, and all who trust in them trust in nothing. Come on. 9, do not serve them, nor worship them, but serve the Most High God, and worship him continuously, and hope for his present ways, and work uprightness and righteousness before him, that he may have pleasure in you, and grant you your mercy, and send rain on your morning and evening, and bless all your works which you have performed on the earth, and bless your bread and your water, and bless the fruit of your womb, and the fruit of your land, and the herds of your cattle, and the flocks of your sheep. Says you will be for a blessing on the earth, and all nations of the earth will desire you, and bless your sons in my name, that they may be blessed as I am. He gave to Ishmael and to his sons and to his sons' sons of gifts, and he sent them away from Isaac, his son, and he gave everything to Isaac. See that? He gave everything to Isaac, his son. Isaac had Jacob. Jacob had 12 sons. So this ain't talking about everybody. It's talking about Jacob's sons. That's what this is about. Now watch what happened with all the rest of Abraham's children. he sent them away, all of them being 12. Ishmael and his sons and the sons of Kekut, their sons, went together and settled. Look at this, from Paran to the borders of Babylon and all the land that is toward the east. I told you about the people of the east. It was Hebrews. East, facing the desert. Look at this, 13. These mingled, intermarried with each other, and their names were called Arabs and Ishmaelites. See that? And now you want to know why you're running into all these different spirits and different personalities when you're dealing with people when you once the Most High wake you up. You sitting there looking at their countenance or at their appearance. But he's telling you right here what's going on. You're dealing with the spirit that's within them. And you're dealing with the, like I said, what's coming out of their mouth. That's why I employ everybody to ask questions. So you're going to find out. So see that? I'm going to read 9 again because it's big. And then I'm going to close out. It says, do not serve them, nor worship them, but serve the Most High God, right? And worship him continuously and hope for his presence always and work uprightness and righteousness before him that he may have pleasure in you. See that? So if this is the case and JC is this person that they're talking about, then where the pleasure is? All this time. You doing what he just said right here. He says, worship him continuously. That's what people doing. They're worshiping him continuously and hope for his presence always. See that? And work uprightness and righteousness before him that he may have pleasure in you and grant you his mercy and send rain on you morning and evening and bless all your works which you have performed on the earth. So they ain't happening to us. They ain't none of him. We doing all that with JC. Like I said before, it ain't him. The name he talking about right there ain't the name that we dealing with. It says, and bless the fruit of the womb and the fruit of your land and the herds of your cattle and the flocks of your sheep. Something wrong. And I told you over and over again what the problem is. You're dealing with an idol. No sooner than you get away from that idol, then the Most High you're gonna open your mind up. And your mind ain't gonna get open as long as you deal with JC. That's contrary. It's contrary to the Most High. Contrary to Hebrew Israelites. Contrary to thinking like a Hebrew. You off. Okay. So we got about 10 minutes. I'm gonna open it up for Q&A. Anybody got anything? Any comments? Questions?
I have a question. In Jubilees, the angels of presence.
Right.
What is that?
So we got 7 angels in the Most High that he created, right? Where they at?
The archangel? You talking about the archangels?
Yeah, they the ones in his presence.
Okay, so that's just another name that they use in Jubilees.
It's another name, same as archangels, same as the eyes of the Lord, the same thing. They the ones in his presence.
Got it. Okay.
So an example of that was in the book of Enoch. It says that Enoch was taken up, right, and he said he came to this house. That's why I'm telling you, Yahweh got his own house, a temple in heaven. The temple on the earth is Lord host temple. So Michael was taken up and he came to this house and he said it was fire all around about the door. It couldn't go in. But it was only 7 he seen can go in and out of there. That's why it's saying presence. They only wants to go in there in his presence.
Gotcha.
Okay. Yeah. Anybody else?
So I want to be clear. When I read this Bell and the Dragon, So does that take up where Daniel left off, or is that like intermingled?
Well, the Susanna is the history of Daniel in his early years when he was young. When Daniel had became renowned. He was a renowned scribe and scholar. You know, he became renowned when he saved Susanna's life.
Oh, okay, yeah.
All right, and so you can see right there, that's right before Nebuchadnezzar came, because when Nebuchadnezzar came, he demanded his Lord of hosts, Nebuchadnezzar, to take the choice out of Israel and take them to Babylon. Daniel was one of them. Ezekiel was one of them.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay.
Hey, Leonard, I got a question.
Okay.
In 2 Kings 21, is mentioned Manasseh worship the host of heavens.
Right.
Is the host of heaven the sun, moon, stars, or what is that? The host of heaven, specifically.
The sun, moon, stars of heaven, the fallen angels, all is included. So that's in where?
2 Kings 21, verse 3 and 5.
2 Kings. So yeah, I don't know if you're familiar with that or not, but Manasseh is compared to Manasseh is 21, 22 or 21.
21.
Yeah, so Manasseh is compared to Aziel. Manasseh is the one that started Israel on the downhill course to where we ended up today. He the one started. And the thing about it was he Hezekiah's son. See that in verse 20 and 20, Hezekiah died.
Oh, yeah.
Hezekiah slept with his father. Manasseh's son reigned. Let me read that. Manasseh was 12 years old when he began to reign. And he reigned 55 years in Jerusalem. And his mother's name was Hezbollah. And he did that which was evil in the sight of the Lord, after the abomination of the heathens whom the Lord cast out before the children of Israel. For he built up again the high places, which Hezekiah his father had destroyed. And he reared up altars of Baal, and he made a grove, as did Ahab, king of Israel, and he worshipped all the hosts of heaven and served them. See that? So it's fallen angels included. You can't serve no stars. You can't serve the stars. And then you ain't close enough to them to be trying to serve them. So these fallen angels included. It says, and he built altars altars. These angels require altars for them. In where? Up in the mountains, in the high places. See that? It says, in the house of the Lord, of which the Lord said, in Jerusalem will I put my name. And he built altars for all the hosts of heaven in the two courts of the house of the Lord. And he made his sons pass through the fire, and he observed times, and he used enchantments, and he dealt with familiar spirits, wizards, and he wrought much wickedness in the sight of the Lord to provoke him to anger. And he said, look at this, he set a graven image of the grove that he had made in the house, in the temple, inside the temple, of which the Lord said to David and to Solomon, in this house and in Jerusalem, which I have chosen out of all the tribes of Israel, will I put my name forever. So if you keep on going down, it says 5:9, but they hearken not, and Manasseh seduced them to do more evil than did the nations whom the Lord destroyed before him. So he out of control. 10, and the Lord spake by his servants, the prophets, saying, because Manasseh, see this, king of Judah, have done these abominations and have done wickedly above all that the Amorites did. The Amorites wicked as hell. Say, above all the Amorites did, which were before him, and have made Judah also to sin with his idols. Therefore, thus says the Lord God of Israel, behold, I am bringing such evil upon Jerusalem and Judah, and whosoever heareth of it, both his ears shall tingle. So all this started because of Manasseh. So look what he's doing up here in verse 6. and he made his sons pass through the fire. So what they tell you, is Manasseh out of the seed of David?
Doesn't appear to be.
Yeah, he is.
But he is, but his actions doesn't appear to be.
So, but look what he's doing. 6. He got, this is the Most High got a covenant with David. He got David's seeds and he sacrificing them to Baal. Imagine that. See that? Verse 6. And he made his sons, that's David's sons, out of lineage of David, pass through the fire. I mean, he took them on the altar of Moloch and sacrificed them to Moloch and the Baal. Don't get no wicked in that. Don't get no wicked in that.
That's wicked.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that I read that story earlier this morning, and that just caught my eye.
Okay.
Yeah. The wickedness that he did.
Right. Right. Exactly.
Wow.
You in for a ride when you start tampering with. When you start tampering anything got to do with David, you in for a ride. That's what people they understanding that. They over there dealing with JC when David. You want to come up with and go to messing with the Most High guy with David.
So, Brother Leonard, I have a question. Well, I guess it's not really a question. I think you answered it, because I always wondered when it said high places in Scripture. So that's the mountains where they will go and set up altars.
Right, and because it's fallen angels up there, and they demanding them to make an altar and make a sacrifice to them. That's why I was showing. That's why I was showing you. Main Street had Abraham come up there to try to sacrifice Isaac.
Now that's what is that question? Is that what the American natives be doing, or they don't go up?
Right. Yeah. Right. That's what they was doing. If they up on top of the mountain, they up there dealing with fallen angels. Like I said, ain't that what Zeus said on Mount Olympus?
He did.
Yeah.
That's what they had up on the mountains. Like I said, the thing I said, all you have to you have to see it, and then you register. Go to the movie 300. It's on YouTube, and go to see what Leonard's doing. He climbing up the side of that mountain. He going up the side of the mountain because there's fallen angels up there. They up there in the cave. And he go up there to find out what he need to do because of the Persians coming. And he want them, these fallen angels, to give him a blessing and give him some insight on what to do. So he got to bring him some children, some little girls and some little boys, and they're going to give him what he wanted and some gold. Riches.
One last question, Leonard. Is the observing a time, is that observing like a pagan holiday or feast days or something? What is actually the observing the time in verse 6?
That's witchcraft. Chapter. That's witchcraft. Like it's like palm reading and all that, telling somebody what's gonna happen to them in the future. Predicting something in the future, but when we know the Most High got a book up in heaven, and these angels coming around down, that's what prophesying is. The reason the prophet can prophesy because the angel then told him what was on the book that's getting ready to happen. And he give it to the prophet, and the prophet prophesied. That's how you get prophecy. But they going and getting it through witchcraft.
That wicked stuff.
And channel of time and all that.
But that's different than being a seer, right?
Yes, a seer ain't nothing but somebody that can see the angel and see the Lord. That's what it means. He can see the Lord, or he can see the angels. Right.
That with that being said, just a little side note, that just made me think about the lady that used to come on TV all the time. I don't know if y'all remember her, and she would always say, "Call me now." She had the Jamaican accent.
Oh, yeah, right,
Miss Cleo.
Yes, I don't know why I thought about her when you guys talked about that.
Yeah,
But yeah.
right, exactly. So based on that, what you just said, connecting the dots with people. I told you the head was sick, and the Most High scattered the 10 tribes stayed there and on the African continent, but the head was sick. They're the ones responsible for Israel going astray, so they were scattered over the whole earth. Judah, Benjamin, Levi, the Ashanti people that was on the west coast. That was Levites. Then they had the kingdom of Judah. Then you had Benin, that was the tribe of Benjamin. And so they took the Ashanti people, the Levites. That's who were over in Haiti. The predominant people that's over there is Levites. So see what they did? They perverted. They got the ability to use spiritual stuff, but it's perverted because we was kicked away, we was cast off.
Right.
So we turned our spirituality into perversion. So where Miss Cleo from? She's from over there too, but she's a female. See that? So you say, what you talking about? I showed you the king 9 times out of 10 married one of the daughters from the Levites, from the high priest. But the whole thing perverted now. We're in a fallen state.
Man.
Right. So
deep.
Right. So we just saw what Abraham told him. We can renew the stars. Well, during the time of Joshua through the Most High had the sun to stop. Ain't they controlling the luminaries?
Yes.
Yeah, he stopped
the sun and the moon stood still. Yes.
Right, exactly. So that was our capabilities then, but we're not in line with that now. And it's within us. Like I said, it's the melanin and the pineal gland, but we don't know how to work that. We told. That's why you got to bring back Elijah and resurrect our forefathers. Okay.
They got a lot of work too when they get back.
Oh yeah. And there's some.
Because we in a bad way, man. We in a bad way.
We are.
And there's some. So everybody good?
Yes.
Okay.
Enjoyed another Sabbath morning class.
Okay. So with that being said, I'm gonna give you some of this lion. We're gonna get out of here.
Shabbat shalom, everyone. Shabbat shalom.
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 Okay.
Shabbat shalom.
See y'all at 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock or 6 o'clock?
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock.
Yes.
Shalom.